Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, coming to you on Friday for competitive historic Brawl. This week we are featuring Soul of Windgrace, the cat avatar from Jund, bringing a little bit of that Lands Matter flavor from the commander format, where Lord Windgrace is a commander that is much beloved there. Here we have a cat avatar at 5/4 that does all kinds of fun stuff with lands. When you attack or when it enters the battlefield, you take a land card from a graveyard and put it onto the battlefield tapped under your control. You can discard lands for 3 life, you can discard lands to draw a card, you can discard lands to become indestructible. So there are a lot of ways to build Windgrace, and there are a lot of routes that you can take, a lot of different choices that you can make to try to maximize your Soul of Windgrace experience, and I think the build I have here to share with you is the best version I've been able to come up with. A lot of different options. For one thing, you can play a Lord of Windgrace deck that's all about lands. Lands matter. We play lands from our graveyard, we put them in our graveyard, we play them out of the graveyard, we move them from zone to zone. But it's very, very possible to overdo that and have all your lands moving from zone to zone, not accomplishing much. Then there's the other option, land destruction Windgrace. You can blow up your opponent's lands and take them from their graveyard with Soul of Windgrace's ability. Very rewarding, feels very evil. However, you go down that road too much and you're running a lot of 4 and 5 mana land destruction sorceries that are just too slow. If your opponent plays any creatures whatsoever, you get run over. And then there's Timmy Windgrace, where we just kind of ramp and we have a bunch of really expensive cards. You build Soul of Windgrace the way you would build Golos, with a bunch of giant monsters that you would cast. The problem with that is when you don't have enough ramp, or you just have a handful of giant stuff and the opponent has a couple of counter spells, you're in big trouble. We tried to put it all together, the best of all the worlds. So in the Lands Matter category, the things that seem to make the biggest difference is if you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. If you can use Lord Windgrace to discard your lands to draw cards, but then still hit your land drop every turn, Soul of Windgrace runs like an absolute freight train. And to do that, we can play lands from our graveyard. So we have Crucible of Worlds, and we have Ramanop Excavator. We also add the Gitrog monster, because there is this sweet synergy where you can discard a land from your hand with Soul of Windgrace and draw a card with Gitrog monster, because it says whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, draw a card. That is very sweet. The next part is the land destruction part. We take the best pieces there. Stone Rain, being the cheapest, only being a 1-of, means that on the play you can go turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Stone Rain, turn 3 Soul of Windgrace. That's usually going to get a scoop from the opponent more often than not, so it definitely makes the cut. And other than that, there are a few other land destruction cards that come up, Star of Extinction and Casualties of War being big ones, but also in the mana base, a few lands that if you're not running in Windgrace you might want to are Memorial to War, not Vold Slumber Mound. These are just fun to say, okay. And Ghost Quarter, wherever you're hiding. Ghost Quarter's down here, along with Field of Ruin. If you come up against somebody who doesn't have many basics in their deck, using Ghost Quarter on them over and over can eventually run them out of basics to fetch, which is epic. But just getting back Slumber Mound and Memorial to War every time you cast or attack with Windgrace will slowly grind them out of colors or lands at some point, which can help you win long games against other grindy decks. Then there's the Timmy Jund, the we need big threats to end the game Jund. And we kept the best that we think works for that, like Vraska, Relic Seeker, is a really good expensive planeswalker that you ramp right into a Soul of Windgrace that can handle most things on the battlefield. Titan of Industry, extremely powerful, coming straight out of Standard and New Capenna to do all the things as just a very strong over-the-top play. And then other things along those lines would be Korvold, Curse King, which is another sweet Jund commander that doesn't work as well with Lands Matter, but still works well with Windgrace, because you can sacrifice your land and then get it back. And there's a lot of sacrificing in general going on in this deck to make all the land stuff happen. The ramp spells for the deck all like sacrifice lands like the Druid and the Roiling Regrowth to make sure that you have lands in your graveyard. And there's just a lot of good quality Junding going on here. We're trying to be a competitive version of Soul Windgrace, and I don't know if we quite reach the absolute max competitive potential of the colors because Corvold is probably the best Jund commander, but I think we're maxing out Windgrace. So if you're looking for a sweet Windgrace list that can compete in the A or B tier and take a game or two out of the Hell Q commanders, I think I've got just the deck for you. But be the judge yourself. Watch the games. See how they go. It's going to be really cool. Today's video patron shout out is given to Radiclu. Thank you very much for signing up on Patreon. I appreciate you a lot. You're very cool. If you would like a video shout out and other sweet benefits such as CGB tokens mailed to your US address, do check out the link in the description or patreon.com/covertgoblue. Now let's dive in. Let the competitive historic brawl Lord Windgrace, / Soul of Windgrace nonsense begin. Bolus. All right, we actually have a versus blue showdown and we're covert no green. So mulligan, slow hand, but at least it has the right colors. It's gonna be a grind anyway. Bolus is going to tear apart our hand, terrorize the battlefield, try to deal with everything, and then we're going to try to win by dealing with all of it. Hopefully they don't hit the graveyard too hard. That's the big concern. All right, they've got a Signet. Do I blow up that Signet? Kind of want to play this tracker, but I also think I should Thoughtseize them. Blowing up the Signet isn't bad either, and if I still had this land, it would be doable. I also need to fix my mana. All right, we go into the north. Well, thanks for tapping that way. I had a plan. I was going to Thoughtseize as well. I better shape up. That was stupid. Can't rely on auto tapper to know my plan. Yeah, that kills an elf. Kind of happy about that. We're gonna spend the turn that way. I'm okay. It lets me resolve my commander. That's a lot of pressure for the opponent. This is definitely a matchup where you want a land destruction land, like Memorial to War, as soon as possible. Ooh, I draw a card for that. Cool. They must have a counterspell as well. But we have a Thoughtseize. Okay, they don't have a counterspell. They have Hand Hate. What's it going to be? Both of these deal with Bolus. This is a lot of value. But discard players hate having to discard. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take the Thoughtseize. Uh-huh. I see you. I see you. What do we got here? Witherbloom Command blows up the Signet. That's pretty good. Gets back a land. And then we also can play the tracker this turn, or we could just run out the soul while we know it will resolve. It's a very expensive card. Yeah, I think we just do this while we know it will resolve. The opponent having to kill it, it's fine. It's totally fine. It burns their removal spells on a renewable resource for us, which is our commander. And we get further ahead on lands every time. Fabled Passage. Hello, beautiful. Covetous Urge. I reveal my hand. They choose a non-land from this or the graveyard and exile it. They may cast it. Okay. What you gonna choose? I'm afraid of none of my own things. They can't take the lands, so I don't care. I bet they take the Thoughtseize. Nope, they take the Witherbloom Command. What's that really do for them? Almost nothing, so I guess they're just being very protective of their Signet. But I can spear their Signet. Maybe I will. especially if they're going to be this protective. And they leave mana open. Okay. Well, I drew a land, so now this can gain indestructible. Let's see if they have something for this. They do not. They do not. Well, in that case, let's make the clue. Forget the indestructibility. Who needs it? Clues are power. So I want 2 of them this turn using the sack land, if possible, instead of the Fabled Passage, which would enter tapped. Beautiful. All right, so they were being protective of this signet. Should we blow it up? No. Their commander's a planeswalker. Let's chill. Blowing up planeswalkers, it matters a lot. And I have a lot of ways to do it, but you have to kill it again and again and again so that they just stop coming back because they're too expensive. If we can do that, they probably can't beat us. You're going to mill me? Okay. Not bad. Not bad. The casualties was on top. The Corvold is pretty terrifying as well. I was hoping they'd mill some sweet lands that I could get back, but no, they had to mill my casualties. They have to kill this tracker. If they don't get this tracker dead, they're in big trouble. Start the card draw. Ooh, a braid. Can go after a signet. Yeah, let's do it. What you got? Black floated. Oh, you do have removal for the tracker. Okay. That was important. They needed that. Black market connections. I see. All right, I'm going to draw because I want to see if I hit a land or something I can discard to the key. I guess I could drop a regrowth and I wouldn't feel bad about it. Almost out of basics for our deck. All right, I'm going to go grab the Fabled Passage here. They used it to some effect, having it in their graveyard last turn. Here's a connection. Resolves. Here's a key to the archive. Also resolves. This card looks like a fun one. Who said we're playing non-blue control today? Oh, Bolas. You proud dragon pharaoh. Yoink. Rude. Alright, all modes only. Thieving Skydiver gained control of my key to the archive. What's her last card? I'm curious. Solemn. Sad robot. Cool. Now I can't cast this until I get another blue. Which I don't have a sneaky way to get until the connection goes off the next turn. I think I Mortality Spear this, though. Just don't give them that much mana. So, gain land. Makes Mortality Spear cheaper. Combo. Value. Last land we can fetch with it, though, in the deck. Alright, opponent takes it. Goodbye to key. Let's draw with the Haunted Ridge. See what we hit. Eldest Reborn. Pretty good card. Let's do it. And continue. Solemn, no Bolas? Guess they don't like the idea of Bolas getting attacked. That's probably going to be game with the Time Warp. Tear Asunder. What a card. Exile Solemn. Take extra turn after this one. Attack for plenty. Down with Bolus. Never even hit the battlefield. Joda. I swear it's the most popular commander right now by a lot. This hand has a lot going right, so easy keep. We do have to ramp up to casualties, but this is a hand that can do it. I'm gonna do this next turn. Even if I hit an untapped green that turn, it's not like we would play it or play anything with it. We can just try to hit it this turn. Hit like an elf, a 1-mana play. Okay, what are we keeping? I guess since we already have a Fable Passage, we'll keep this land, the land with the most utility. And then here comes Paradise Druid. So we are looking at a turn 3 Soul that does ramp because of the turn 1 Terramorphic Expanse. And the opponent has Catilda. That's a good one for that deck. Can generate a lot of the mana that they need. But that doesn't take us off our play, which is to try to get to casualties as fast as possible. So we'll ramp. We will ramp. A little land destruction goes a long way against Joda. And that is a land I plan to destroy. Ooh. This might be the best card for their deck. We've got to kill it. And we can't because of Ward 2. Ooh. Oh, man. Gross. Okay. I'll figure this stuff out. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Another red, another black. All right, we have many lands on the field, but our opponent is probably about to land a Joda that, if it dies, makes another Joda, and that's not good. That is very, very scary. This one can tap for white or green. The real question is, do they have the untapped land? I play like 48 lands in my Joda the Unifier deck, at least some versions of it, because I want to hit every land drop and get all the way up to enough to cast Joda. Because if you don't cast Joda on time, the window for the deck closes really fast in my experience. Oh, it's a tapped land. Joyra's a really good one too. They'll draw a card for every historic spell they play. But it's okay, guys. It's gonna be okay. Because I think now I can casualties and pay ward cost. Target creature, yes. Target land, yes. Get that out of here. We have to be able to kill Joda on sight. Oh, I'll take a Plaza. That seems fun. I can protect Windgrace with that. Now they draw the untapped land. Here's Joda. They do have 1 mana available from Joyra that could protect it, but she attacks. Okay. It also taps for red or blue. They would need like a dive down or something. Renin 7, huh? I guess we still have enough to cast it. Kill it, make treasure. One short of Titan. Still have the several lands in our own graveyard to get here. 2-8. Here is Renin 7. Here is a big tree folk.
And you will rot at their roots.
Our opponent is now under serious pressure. Clutches. Oh, nasty. So now they can use the -3 here and kill the 10-10. They're still in a lot of trouble.
Lord Nicholas will...
But I can't Titan to get back my Vraska. Liberator. Well, let's plus here. We do hit a land.
We will help.
Let's discard it and redraw, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Let's get a look at another card. Abundant Harvest. Let's see what that reveals. Non-land. Key to the Archive. Do we go for key? If we hit Time Warp, we win. Let's go for it. Regrowth, Growth Spiral, Claim. Claim the Catilda gets them to 1. Claim the Liberator kills them. Okay. Claim it is. Goodbye, Titan. Give our own Liberator hasty haste. And they call it lethal. Nice try, opponent. You almost got out of that one. But not today. Rivaz of the Claw. That's a new commander. A dragon commander. Go for it, no green. Okay. So yeah, this is Menace 3/3, add 2 mana, spend it to cast dragon spells. Once during each of your turn, you may cast a dragon from your graveyard. Yeah. How exciting. And kind of nauseating. I guess this will also be green since I drew a Rockfall Veil. Always need more green in your rampy type deck. Okay, opponent no play there. It could have removal for this Windgrace, but you just want to get your mana moving. You don't really care too much if Windgrace dies. Besides, if they use removal on Windgrace, what'll they do about Corvold? Okay. They reveal a Terror of Mount Valus. Okay. Message delivered. And now they get 2 mana for their dragons. So, I don't have removal for it right this minute. But I do have a Corvold. And so I can try to have the larger dragon here, which is kind of exciting. Nom. I'm probably supposed to send lands to the graveyard in this deck, but since we already have the passage, I feel like we're doing a good job of that. Oh yeah, they better have removal for the Corvold. That thing will take over a game. Chaos Warp into a Shatterskull Smashing? I can't even play that. How rude. Oh my gosh, so rude. And I don't have access to red mana here unless... Well, I can cast Dig Up. And then shoot this with the Smashing. I don't think that's worth it. I really don't think that's worth it. Let's go for Tracker and get that going. And then next turn we'll be able to Smashing. And we can smash for so much we can probably kill this and another dragon that they cast. That's really good. But they do know about it. They know about Shatterskull Smashing. That's something to keep in mind. I want to save this Dig Up because we seem to have plenty of land. So we should be able to tutor up something good later. And just stockpile these clues for later too when we slow the game down. Baleful Mastery, full price on the tracker. Love it. That takes their whole turn. Provisioner, yes. The trackers are so good. They are stupid good. That's a treasure. You see just kind of the Jund power in this. We like with Corvold, with Tireless Tracker, with Tireless Provisioner. They're already like insanely good cards. All right, let's see what the opponent can do against all this mana. What they need is a Thoughtseize to take the smashing, or an Inquisition of Kozilek. And then their dragons might survive. And if their dragons live on the board, they're very threatening. Okay, that has Menace. We want to kill it next turn anyway, so I guess I'm going to take it. I am a little worried about my life total. So we're going to have to remember to discard some lands to Soul of Windgrace for life, potentially. Excavator, wow. Oh, we can make food with the Provisioner, too. Let's make treasure first, though, and make sure that we get all this stuff cast. Alright, the last one I'll make food. I don't think that'll punish us too much, right? Remember, when 6 or greater, it's doubled. We can assign like this. Oh my goodness, the carnage, the absolute carnage. More food, I guess. We've done the mana bits. Food and treasure, why not? Spread the wealth. Gross. that was an absurd amount of Jundi value that we generated. Bergie. And a username Donkey Punch. I think I get the gist. It's good old mono red Storm. What do we think of this hand? Well, you have a fetch land for the graveyard, a Thoughtseize to attack their hand, a Once Upon a Time to look for a ramp, and some good expensive spells. We keep. Let's see if we can just hit black mana. Like untap black mana and Thoughtseize on turn 1. We do not. So now I'm wondering if we have too many tapped lands and I need to take the Stomping Ground, since I already have a fetch land. Yep. Let's do it like that. Then let's play you. We'll have Thoughtseize next turn along with the Courtyard, and then we'll go from there. We might have an empty turn 3. Now there's the untapped black, one off. Alright, Epicure, Crash Through, Rebuke, Combustion. Ah, man, Bergie Storm. Alright, I'm gonna go for the Rebuke because it kills Soul of Windgrace on sight. Let's get the fetching going. Please draw me a playable for next turn. I want to put the pressure on the opponent. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Alright, and scry. Nope. Okay, a little bit of a flood here. Ripped 3 lands in a row. Opponent also feels like they could do with 1 less land. They use the blood token. Bergie Berg, you coming? Or are you gonna hold Bergie and try to go off in 1 turn? Aha! Slam it. Gotcha. Alright. Looks like I'm without a solution. So let's start working on that blood on the snow, shall we? All right, how many spells do they cast? Buckle up. One might want a mulligan in this matchup for a removal spell, but I don't have that many in my deck. Renegade Tactics, draw a card, can't block. Let's go. Crash through. Yep. Make a mana, draw a card. Uh-huh. 2 spells. 3 spells. Activation. Land for turn. 4 spells. 1 to the top on the scry. Okay, combat is over. They didn't pump Bergie to 1,000,000. All right, 4 spells. I feel like we got away with something. We didn't die. All right, I attack. And we'll go to my graveyard because these lands gain me life. Too bad I couldn't get up to 4 snow lands. But pretty happy to blow up my own Soul of Windgrace when recasting it gets you more mana. Oh, we could reanimate it with Cruelty for 5. But then we don't get the other value off the Saga. I'd rather just pay the 6. Cruelty might just have to tutor. There's got to be something, like an Abrade I can just shoot Bergie with here. Okay. Gotta get Bergie dead. Too dangerous to be allowed to live. Pow pow. Back to the Shadow Realm. Not much in graveyards to reanimate. We're looking right now at a Volduran Epicure. My Cobra! Would you stop ramping off my card, please? Cobra Kai, never die. You didn't even use the mana. What? What an insult. What a combo. Well, now I have a Cobra to get back, so there's that. They just riled my Cobra. Struck it double rich. We draw. Casualties, nice. All right, trigger. Let's get back the Cobra. I'm going in. What you got there? Land and land. Beautiful. Love to see it. I think there's a way I could have arranged this to also activate Field of Ruin this turn. But don't worry, we'll get to that. It's fine. This is fine. Besides, the lands in their hand are better than the ones I'd be blowing up on the field, I think. They've got 9 mana. They could throw Bergie to the wolves here. They did nothing. Maybe they're planning to use the Emergence Zone? Alright. The attack... We put the trigger on the stack by making sure that we get to the attack phase, and now we'll use the Field of Ruin. And target your Emergence Zone. I don't like you threatening to do stuff at flash speed. Makes me nervous. Alright, they sacrifice it so they can use spells at flash speed this turn. Cool. Field of the Ruin. We'll not get any lands for anybody. And now we have a good choice. We can get back our Field of Ruin, or we can get their Emergence Zone. Here's Bergie. Alrighty. I'm taking their emergence zone. Now I can play stuff at flash speed. Drop this swamp, draw card. Because fun. Sage. Okay. Well, they get to ambush the Lotus Cobra, which probably feels great. But I'm mad. So I'm going to do something about it. And you're just another casualty of war, Bergie. Good luck ever coming out again in this game. Ooh, that's a good threat. That is a good threat. And a dangerous card in to light up the stage. Oh my god, they're not done. What a couple of rips. What an absolute gem of a draw. Ancestral Anger plus X plus O, or X, okay, 1, and draw a card. All right. Ooh, the frog. And I can flash it in, but it's better to activate the emergent zone with the frog on the field because we draw a card. That was a really good rip. Shall we card? Hopefully I get to show you the full power of the Gitrog monster here. You see, Gitrog lets you draw whenever a land is put into a graveyard from anywhere. That includes your hand. And that's kind of legendary because you can discard cards, land cards to Soul of Windgrace for the effects and then draw. Now, we didn't draw any lands here, so it doesn't look like I get to put on that level of a show for you. But it's sweet. Draw a card until end of turn. Target creature gets trample and +1/+0 for each card you've drawn this turn. Okay. Strong. Very strong. Getting nervous. Please don't Embercleave. It's Underworld Breach. My goodness. All right. These all have the ability to be cast from graveyard this turn. You can use Claim the Firstborn on the Druid. They have a lot of options here. I don't even know what they're going to do. They can make this unable to block, right? And then claim the Firstborn. Is that enough to win, though? That's a trigger. 7. Claim 8, 9. Yeah, they got it. They've got it. If we had a land in hand, we could discard it for 3 life and we'd be fine, but they got it. What a fortunate set of draws. The Layla into the stage, into the breach. Unbelievable. The luck on mono red, am I right? The shuffler just always rigged for them. Ooh. But you need one more. Oh, when it attacks. When it attacks, it exiles, right? Yeah, it does. All right. I think we were a card away. Let's see what this would have been. If this is a land, we almost had it. Wait, I didn't draw? Oh, because it doesn't go to my graveyard. It goes to theirs. Mono red. You freaking rigged, man. Rigged. Old Stick Fingers. And we have Stone Rain. Nice. I think hands with Stone Rain are keeps. We even have Tron. The 3-color basics. All right. Let's go non-land and see what we hit. Black Market Connections. This is sweet. This is very sweet. All right. Emergent Sequence. Let's go get another green. I usually expect the Emergent Sequence land to get killed. So I try to get the thing I need the least. All right. Straight to Stone Rain Town. Now Windgrace can steal their land. Oh, so rude. Absolutely rude. No, they do have another black source. Keep it coming. Memorial to War. Do I have another way to get a land into my graveyard? I could try to make them discard one. I don't think that's particularly good. We'll just play the Wrenn in 7. Guess I'll pre-combat it. Who knows?
Symbiosis is harm.
All right, Tree Folk then. If stuff is just resolving, we'll try beating them to death with it.
As our might.
I do hate missing on a Windgrace trigger, but when you're really well ahead, why not? The cube, huh? Okay, well that's not coming back because it's a token that left the battlefield. But we do have this lightning bolt. We can plus. There's some land.
Power comes with tender care.
Ooh, we can... Ooh, okay. I will Memorial to War. I almost forgot it was there. And get that back. Full land destruction mode activated very early in the game. Opponent is hanging in there though, despite losing so many lands. Scriptures. Okay, they don't want to put counters on these. Next turn, this is going to blow up both of the creatures, right? Destroy all non-artifact creatures. So, we just need to be able to make Windgrace indestructible, which won't be too hard. We can definitely do that. Unless we use all our mana poorly, which I just did. It's fine. We'll just replay Windgrace. That also works. I kind of forgot I needed mana. Discard a card, huh? The graveyard's gonna get exiled in a minute. Shieldred. Opponent not stopping. Okay.
The will of the woods is made manifest.
Eventually they might have trouble casting spells. They're hanging in there though. Oh, we needed another green, and I discarded the Stomping Ground. I gotta pay more attention. I guess I can play this. That gets another green for next turn. Before the opponent completely unlocks their full power. Can't do Memorial because we're mana short. I guess I played Connections. I can also just Kolaghan's Command and a Braid, right? What do I have down there to get? I have a Llanowar Elf. They have a cube. Actually, a card from their hand is probably more valuable, huh? Than the Llanowar Elf. Especially when they're at 6. They've taken a beating so far. Bye-bye, graveyard. Sir Conrad. Well, good night. Nice try. Opponent tried to get out of that ridiculous start, and I was playing really lackadaisically. Still got the win. Sloppy win, but an absolutely ridiculous display of what the deck can do. Veto. Thorn of the Dusk Rose. We got the Cobra. That's pretty good. Cobra Kai will never die. Only this green source though, and this tap land, which is awkward. But we play it like this. Here, kitty kitty. All right, Cobra down. See if the opponent has an answer to one of the better mana generators in the deck. Yeah, I will not block. Cauldron Familiar, scuffed version, can't block, by the way. Sign in Blood, there's a draw 2. Okay. Nice and easy. What are we doing? We could Witherbloom Command the Cauldron Familiar. That's not particularly appealing, to be honest. I think we need to dig up another land. So we can do that and play the Paradise Druid. Green, green. Yeah, more green. All right, we have mana, but we don't have a land in the graveyard yet. All right, I think we're going to try out a Witherbloom Command. Probably hit ourself, and we could kill the cat. Is that really necessary, killing the cat? Yes, we kill the cat. For all the times the cat has killed me. I remember you. All right, we do need to hit this land, though. It would be nice if there were two. You sneaky bugger. Okay, two lands. You'd love to see it. Should have gotten the Takanuma, actually. Just in case. Now we play you. Now we do that. Now we drop you. Now we do that. Now we go blue for no reason. Just a preference. Could have gone green to discard this, but nah. Alright, Windgrace is here, but we don't have an engine, a way to just keep putting lands in the graveyard and getting them back. So we'll have to draw into that, but we're doing well. Okay, bye. Fine. Take out my Windgrace. See if I care. Shadow Spear, is that for the cat or what? Weird game so far from the opponent. They seem super passive. I don't know if I want to play this, because then we need something to discard to Windgrace so that we can get it back for value, or we can just play a 5/4. If we Dark Ritual, then we still have 2 mana up to discard this to draw. I guess that's pretty good. All right, so this lands. Trigger on the stack because we're in full control, holding priority. We discard a land to draw a card. Then we resolve the trigger. And life is beautiful. Look at that. Go blue. I'm going to try to hold this layer to also discard Windgrace to draw a card if Windgrace survives the turn. We do give up the opportunity to attack with it next turn, which isn't nothing, but I have to assume the opponent can remove stuff. They're playing mono black. Brush Stroke, that's going to make you a Blood Artist and a Blood Token. Oh, that Blood Artist needs a Shadow Spear, I think. That's my assessment of the situation. Come on. You know you wanna. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. All right, once again, we let's discard. Let's discard now. We might draw something very playable. There's a chance that they try to kill Windgrace here, and we definitely want to be able to stop that. Okay, let's move to combat. Rah, rah. Just grind that value, baby. All right, we'll make red, and I'll use this again to keep it coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I think we can discard the tower here and then play the lair so it's ready to attack next turn potentially. Hit. All right, let's definitely hold up the ability to make Windgrace indestructible, so we're just burning this mana. The opponent held up to use a blood token. They discard Demonic Embrace. That can be a scary kitty or vampire. And they draw. 9 to 21. You're going to need a lot of help. The cat avatar is absolutely going off here. Your kitty is just chilling in the graveyard. Professor Onyx. Hello. I can't get out of that with indestructibility. Yeah, you got it. I suppose I will use the ability to discard the Proving Ground, and maybe we draw a 2-drop. Nope. Okay.
Sorry, you don't make the grade.
Blood Artist trigger. We can attack Onyx down, though. Opponent has a little Blood Artist blocker. Scoot! Swarm. And Excavator to cast lands from graveyard. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And we have Lotus Cobra. Let's start by making sure that Onyx dies through combat without spending spells. Blood Artist is a little scary with a Scoot Swarm. And part of me says we should deal with it first, but I think we'll have the mana. I think it's going to be fine. So let's play you. And then you. And then you. Trigger, trigger. Go blue. And bind them old gods. Or just a Blood Artist. Here's Veto. Demonic Pact. Yeah, I think you're in trouble, opponent. Don't think you're getting out of this one. Here's Devils. Trigger, 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 trigger. And swing. It's close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it's Xaxes. Well, it's definitely lethal if you don't block the lair. My math said Xaxes, but I've been proven wrong by MTG Arena many a time. Let's find out. Victory to the Swarm. A mirror. Awesome. We'll see who is the superior Windgracer, and thank you, Matchmaker. Is there anything more MTG Arena than mirror matches? Especially Historic Brawl. You know, just hard weighting the commander as the primary matchmaking piece of the algorithm. So we have a Cultivate. Maybe I'm supposed to cycle the Canyon Slough, because then we have a land in the graveyard for Windgrace. Of course, they're on the play, so their Windgrace could get it first. So we have to watch out. But if they take our Slough, we take their Fabled Passage. Bard class. Interesting. Interesting take. So they can activate that next turn and still cast Windgrace. That's kind of cool. Ghost Quarter. This game is going to get messy. Let's go ahead and cultivate up for double black. It's not like I have some great mirror breaker against another Windgrace deck. They're trying to do the same thing I am. Maybe what I use Cruelty to fetch is like a Crucible, so I can play my lands from my graveyard so they can't get their grubby little cat avatar paws on them. Here comes Windy. Windgrace gets my Canyon Slough. Slick. Yeah, who knows? Here's Windgrace. I'll have your Fabled Passage, thank you. Good times. And now I have a ghost quarter. I might blow up my own canyon slough just so I can get it back. We might want to hold this fabled passage indefinitely. Okay, you have a Vraska. I don't have anything you can hit with it. It looks like you thought the -3 would hit Windgrace. Have you not checked the casting cost of your own card? We sacking?
Everyone is expendable, except me.
Well, we sacking. Sack land, draw, attack, get back. I think I'd block for sure, right? Because then I untap and play my own Windgrace. Okay. And then I have first Windgrace. True, they got 2 land. But getting first, being the Windgrace that's going to attack before the other Windgrace is huge. All right, let's use this. I guess green. We're gonna run out of basics fast. Then play Windgrace. Take your passage. Play the black. Hit your hand. Look at these toys. Shieldred. Very removable. This doesn't hit our commander. This, they don't have land. This, dangerous. This does kill our commander. I guess if they spend their turn on key, I'm okay with that. Let's take the thing that does kill our commander, and then potentially we can attack down their Vraska. Of course, Vraska can also get hit by a Star of Extinction, so maybe they'll just play a Shieldred and we can go ahead and do that. Sack the Bard class, huh? Whoa. Land, sometimes I even land destroy myself, says the opponent. Hold. The Trap of Vraska. I've definitely done it myself. All right, they have recast their commander. Memorial to War is a doozy. All right, so any lands in graveyards? Not yet, so I guess we'll do this. Turn this sideways. Get back that Fable Passage. It's doing work for one of us. There's a block. Let's go indestructible. Now, if they recast the Soul of Windgrace, they get this land, but we have the Ghost Quarter. I think I'll just make it a swamp. Too worried about losing the Memorial to War. Alright, so we can Starve Extinction to take care of Vraska. Next turn, them sacrificing their own permanent isn't what scares me. If we take out the Bard class, though, they're going to have a hard time recasting the Soul of Windgrace. The problem with that play is then if they play Key to the Archive, we don't have an easy way to deal with that. Maybe I just play Ren, but then Starve Extinction kills it. So that's kind of tough. What do I want them to do? I want them to play the Key, and then I want to blow it up, but then I also need to star that turn. That's asking a lot. But I think we leave Vraska alone. Do we leave Bard class alone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they just replay their commander, we're so happy about that. So I guess we want them to. So I'm going to play Memorial to War, and I'm going to say go. Maybe we'll discard this forest and draw. Actually, maybe we hold this forest because we can discard it to keep Soul of Windgrace alive and then Starve Extinction. Ooh, could be fun. Here's the plus from Vraska. The ultimate is -9 emblem with whenever a creature deals damage to a player, that player loses the game. A very risky ultimate. The opponent gave up a land, probably so they can play Windgrace again and get it back. But we are working on mana superiority in the Windgrace mirror, which is a big deal. Alright, they took my swamp, you monster. So, what are we thinking? I am thinking we go indestructible, then drop a Star of Extinction on them. That's what I'm thinking, so we're going to hold this land. And there is a land in the graveyard to get back now, so let's attack first. Opponent will block. Probably block. And then we go like this. And this. And we gain indestructible. Their Windgrace gets taxed yet again. Their Vraska is looking good, but hold on. I'm not finished with you. My Canyon Slough. I guess I could have killed their only green, but with them having the Bard class, I don't know if that's really as effective. Yeah, I still should have done it. Next turn. So this is where they probably play key and we get to blow it up. Oh. I mean, okay. Probably the Memorial to War is what I would get rid. Okay, they go for Ghost Quarter. Interesting. That's a land. How many lands and graveyards we got here? A couple. But let's just go straight to the Memorial and take out their green. So that we can get it back with Soul on this attack. Yeah. Let the Memorial recursion begin. They're not going to like that. You keep blocking. I mean, okay. Have we not proven ourselves adept at drawing lands by now? I'm so confused. Easy mode. Yeah, I'll sacrifice it. Another land that we can get back later with its abilities. Oh yeah, we are definitely grinding them to dust by attacking the mana base. Here's Sheoldred. There's some damage. Let's go Memorial to War on their forest that they are probably relieved to have just drawn. Then Maelstrom Pulse or Spear. I guess we'll get Spear out of the way. Because we can't hold up the activation of other stuff. We could discard the command tower, gain 3 life, and then cast this for cheap. No, wait, we can't. We only have 1 green. Alright. Pow. Attack. War. And the Constrictor keeps constricting. Let's hold this. We might want to discard it to Windgrace for an ability, especially since they keep blocking it. Good card. Makes treasures. That helps a lot. Opponent's not going away. Their Jund Good Stuff deck still has good stuff in the colors of Jund. And they can play that here because of the Bard class. Alright. I attack you. Looks like we're going to have to spend the turn actually dealing with the battlefield. And they take it. Okay, they learned. They learned I'm really good at indestructibility. Now what? I think we play you. The minus, though, just gets Doombladed, which is not great.
Must never be unleashed on another forest.
So I guess we plus to draw the ire of our opponent. We had a Dire Strain Revenge. I don't think that helps much. Could blow up the Bard class, though, and give them a land. I guess I play Cruelty and Tutor. That, or I use Memorial to War, I Cruelty next turn, and then how much mana do I have left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because I think what I want... I honestly believe that what I want here is Blood on the Snow. Alright, let's pulse away the dragon. Let's play, hold up indestructibility or not? Tough turn. Let's play Fable. The opponent, they just used these cards. Never mind, we'll hold. Giving them targets and good things to do with their mana is a lot worse for us than just keeping their mana weird and awkward. Alright, they scale the heights, which means +1/+1 counter 2 life, and they can play an additional land. Let's see if they actually come up with lands to play. Looks like Ren might live.
You have not shaken our spirit.
Knew a moon druid. Something about getting lands and special. I don't know. I don't want to read it. Can I just go get a removal spell so I don't have to read it? This is so much text. Ah! I don't know what these words mean. I'm old. Type in comments if you know what all these words mean. Or what all these do. Alright, let's cycle. That's a card you can draw. Oh my god. That's plus. That's a lot of good toys too. Alright, turn sideways. Our opponent needs 7 or more lands to use that thing. I read that much. I don't know if they're going to have 7 lands when I'm done with them. Do you think they'll actually still be here when this is done resolving? Place your bets. Pew! Raw! Land destruction. How to win the mirror. I bet when they leave this game, they're going to take out the Bard class and put in the Memorial to War and the not Vold Slumber Mound as soon as they can. That's ramp, and they get a 6-drop from it? Okay. But they got a mountain. Oh, they don't get a choice. So we can keep fighting them on the green mana front. Love it. Q. I will have Troll Warrior. We are now in the make trolls portion of the game. Just keep getting that back. Seems good. This can come down. I think we'll get in their hand here. Oh, they got a Doomblade target. Look how happy they are. Snap that off. They've been sitting on that one all day. What do you got? What's your 6-drop? Morong, Fury of Akum. Ooh, I can see the synergy with that. Like, this is definitely a Timmy card, but I can definitely see the appeal of playing that with Soul of Windgrace. Just land every combat. Yeah, we're keeping you off Specialize. You're getting no land. We're not letting it happen. Wait a minute. It's 6 or more? I thought it was 7. Wait, what's this? Oh. When it specializes or attacks, create a 2/2. Okay, whatever. And it's got menace. It's a 5/5? What the F? Okay, whatever. It's fine. So I think the 7 comes from... I equate this card to Nissa Vastwood Seer, which is an old card, which when it had 7 or more lands turned into a Planeswalker. But now I feel stupid. All right, how do we close this game? There's probably a lethal here. They have a couple of 2/2s. If I move those out of the way with the smashing, I can power up. I need a lot of mana for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have it. All right, we'll just take this. If I'm off on the math, oopsie. I think I've got it. Playing with full information, one should be able to find a lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roar. All right. Soul superiority. Build dominance established. We are the better Windgrace. And we are back for the post-game wrap, talking about the stats from this small sample size in our historic Brawl games for this Windgrace deck, and I am 17-4 playing this variation of the Soul of Windgrace. Of course, it is a little bit of a rigged sample size. I was on the play 16 times and on the draw 5 times. I wish I could trade that for the ladder, but anybody wondering why I go second on the ladder so much? Apparently I use up all of that coin flip luck in Historic Brawl. But what I can say for sure about the deck is that's fun. It feels like a fun style to play Magic, this value-based, non-blue, non-absolutely overpowering control strategy with a lot of different lines, including the land destruction lines, which can be rewarding when they work. Let's call it that. It can be tilting and frustrating for the opponent, but it feels very rewarding to you when you use it as a resource and find a way to win against a deck that might be more powerful than yours or more blue than yours. So I highly recommend this version of Windgrace. I think it has all the best bits that you can put into a Windgrace deck, a deck that already had a lot of options for it. And if you are looking for a Soul of Windgrace build to play for fun, this is the one. I don't think that it's a tier 1 like Hell Q contender. It can take a few games off the Hell Q decks here and there, especially when it gets the land destruction draw really well. But for the most part, it's going to hang out in like the B tier, trying to be an A tier, because the blue decks and the really explosive Kinnan decks and Golos decks are going to stay well ahead of you, as you're kind of playing a worse version of both of those commanders. But the fact that you get the sort of jundiness of your deck to grind them down and the recursive way of getting lands back and using that in your favor, it does give you just a different line of attack, a different style of deck, and it's a very fun one. So I highly recommend that you try Soul of Windgrace for a good kind of mid-range competitive Historic Brawl option. Yeah, we'll call it that. Thank you for watching the CHB video. It's very fun to make them, and if you enjoyed them a lot, remember to leave me a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what commander you want to see next, and please make it a commander who has Historic Brawl competitive potential. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next one. You're cool.